So thank you all for coming here today. Here with me is people from administrative staff and also from the Flint Police Officers Union to talk about two issues that happened last night in the City Council. At the special meeting, there were two initiatives that will be taken on by the Flint City Council. One was about the increased water rates from GLEWA, the Great Lakes Water Authority, of 5.8%, and putting money in the Water Stabilization Fund so this cost would not be passed on to the end users, the residents of this great community. Secondly, about the contract for our Flint Patrol Officers Union for those hardworking men and women. So we'll be talking about both these issues, but we're going to start off with a very important one. And I always start off by saying this is another great day, and this is a great day because the residents of this great city got an opportunity to see those individuals who do not work for them, who has not engaged in a positive space for them. This administration works for you, the residents. We will continue to fight for you and work for you to make sure the increased cost of water will not impact you and your family at a time in this nation where so many things are happening. Increased costs in our energy bills, increased costs in our day-to-day walk with our food and our mortgages and our rents. We do not need to have the burden of an increased cost on water. This administration will stand firmly advocating for you, the residents. Last night we saw and got the opportunity to look at those individuals that sit on council that does not engage this space with the same mindset about where we are with this proposed increase from GLEWA. Not proposed, they voted, they will raise it. We do not want to pass on this cost onto our residents. So the vote that took place last night, you saw 5 council people, and I encourage all of you to reach out to them to talk about where we are with this. Don't take the chicanery and the political play of the words that they give. We have a strong budget, one of the strongest budgets in the last 2 decades here. We presented it to them to make sure that you will be insulated from any increase from our water provider. They said no. Those individuals are not working for you, and I will say it boldly, and I never spoke like this as it relates to these issues. We presented it to them, the numbers to them. They asked for more numbers, but it gave them an opportunity to make an excuse to not protect you, the residents. So you, your families, need to be able to weigh in on this. It will be a council meeting on Monday. I encourage you to come down to witness where they are. Ask them the point-blank question. Are you proposing that our water rates go up or not? Prove it by your vote. They stood there. They voted in opposition to this. So this is not where we need to be in this community. I'm going to pass it over to our CFO, Phil Moore. We have a great budget. We can afford this. At a time where we've taken so many contusions and abrasions from all the things that we've had happen over the last decade, a water rate increase is not acceptable. This administration will continue to push and push to make sure we insulate you from that. Council members are not doing the same. So Phil's going to give you a couple words about the budget, and then I'll take the microphone back, and then we'll push into the second one. But Mr. Moore.
The budget as presented is a very strong, very solid budget. There are no gimmicks. It's a balanced budget. It's a very good budget. I think it's one of the soundest budgets that the city of Flint has had for decades. I sincerely believe that.
And so with that said, that's validation of where we are with this. We presented 6 balanced budgets to the City Council and passed. We know our financial abilities in this community. The commitments that we made is that we're going to continue to lift and push and move forward. We have done that inside the city of Flint. But what we see is the waters being muddied by personal politics, gutter politics. These individuals should not be allowed to do so without providing you a better explanation beyond what they provided. The GLEWA water contract was put in place in 2017 for 30 years. It was a cap originally, but the cap has been lifted. And since that time, a rate increase of about 12% in the last 9 months has been passed on to the city of Flint. The first water rate increase, we insulated you, the end user, by putting $2 million in the Water Stabilization Fund to cover us. Another 5.8% increase just happened last week. We propose putting in $1 million into the Water Stabilization Fund, insulating you, the residents. So legacy issues and legacy problems with a 30-year contract, that is a legacy issue and a legacy problem that we have to deal with. We don't have all the answers to be able to perform saying how do we get beyond the level of increase from our water provider. But we're working toward that. But in the meantime, we need to insulate you, the voting residents of this community, the bosses of this community, from a water rate increases. And so I encourage you to step forward and speak to your council people. This is unacceptable and a very, very disappointing. I'm going to give it to our Chief of Staff, Ed Taylor. Ed Taylor and myself both served on Flint City Council. Collectively, we served 24 years on city councils. So we understand what it is to be a council person more than the current council people are there. We have more experience there. But I'm going to give it to Chief of Staff Ed Taylor to speak about this issue.
Good morning. Just to piggyback off the mayor, one of the main things he said, and I want everybody to hear this, 2017, that's when that was, this particular GLEWA contract was voted on. I wasn't here, he wasn't here. Decisions were made at that time. But since we've been here, as he stated, the increase has occurred. And what we have done is we've put money aside to stabilize that so that the end user, me and everybody else that lives in the city of Flint, parents, they will not see that increase. So you hear council people talk on the mic, and they talk about solutions and what are we going to do, and we need a game plan. Well, if you want to get solutions and you want to get a game plan, what you need to do, you need to come to the person that can make it happen. And that's right here in the mayor's office, along with those 9 other council people. But you don't have that. So sometimes we in administration, we have to take it ourselves and do what we need to do to make sure that this rate increase doesn't happen. $1 million, that'll starve it off, that'll hold it off for a while. But at the end of the day, all of us collectively need to get together and see what we can do to get a solution instead of just sit there and talk about what we're going to do and they're not going to do anything. Thank you.
The actions we witnessed last night was beyond soft sabotage. It was direct on full sabotage of what we're doing, trying to protect the residents of this great city. This administration will continue to fight. We will continue to propose solutions, but definitely we need people at the table. We have city council members that have never come down to the mayor's office for one meeting. They definitely don't come down to any budget meetings. So they sit there and they talk about things they have no real idea about. But we continue to maintain an open line of dialogue with an invitation for them to come and talk about these things so we can move these issues forward. But we will fight for you. We will fight for you in this administration. And so with that, we're going to transition on to the next subject. But before I do that, I will open up questions for this particular subject, and then we move on to the next topic.
So yes, I have a few questions. In regards to the ARPA funds, a big discussion point among city council members was they were hesitant to decide on an investment through ARPA funds when they were unsure the exact amount that was left. So would you be willing to clarify how much ARPA funds are left, and if not on this, what are the discussions of them being spent towards?
I would venture to tell you and to say that they know exactly where we are with that, and that was just a convenient excuse because they made the vote to transfer remaining ARPA dollars into the general fund last year. It was their vote. They knew what happened. We did that in 2024. All funds that we're proposing in this particular account comes from the 101 fund. The 101 fund is our general fund. So the dollars that we have placed from ARPA dollars, we place it into the general fund, and our proposal says that we will take these dollars from the general fund to subsidize the water increase so it does not have to be passed on to the end users. The invitation goes out almost bi-weekly to all council members to come in and have a dialogue to talk about these things. They know exactly what it is, and it's political chicanery from them when they say they don't know. They do know. A reporting from Ernst & Young gives a quarterly report, and this is a top for accounting firm in America. They give a quarterly report telling them where everything is. There's a dashboard dedicated for ARPA dollars. So when they say that means they're lightly engaged, as their attendance record will show, as they're absent from coming down to talk about these very important issues. For when they do show up to council meetings, they make all these excuses how not to support the residents of this great city. And that is unacceptable. As Chief of Staff Ed Taylor has told you, we sat there on council meeting. When I was on council, out of the 9 years I served, I missed one meeting. Take a look at their attendance record today. Mr. Taylor will tell you that those levels of attendance and talking and having dialogue with department heads and administration is critical to making sure we move it forward. We've been blessed to be able to have a great team in administrative ranks to be able to continue to move our community forward as we have. So their excuse making is just that. Those dollars was transferred by a vote of them. 2022, they passed an ARPA budget. They understand acutely where those dollars are. And we keep providing those answers, and they keep providing excuses. And now it should be over. Every resident should be outraged, disappointed, and frustrated with the lack of attendance, a lack of accountability for these council people. And so those dollars, if they want to have it, they can meet with me at any time, and the chief of staff, and also Phil Moore, to be able to go through it with our partners at Ernst & Young, to be able to give them the answers that they seek, not on a showmanship basis up there as they have their podcasts, going for clicks, shares, and likes and images. They need to work for the people in which they get their paychecks to do so.
Unless someone else had a question.
Go ahead, Morgan.
Will you be proposing any alternative solutions beyond the $1 million investment in ARPA funds?
No, we will propose. We're already calculating and working on another proposal, and we're going to continue to fight. We will not increase the water rates to the residents until we resolve this issue with council, but council has to be held accountable for this. As a ratepayer, myself, me and my family, my neighbors and friends, I pay a water bill here, and so should they. And so this should be important to them, not only as an enhanced citizen elected by other citizens, but it should be important to them and their family. They should poll their neighbors and friends and say, hey, do you want a water rate increase? And when they get the overwhelming answer, no, we pay too much as it is, we don't need an increase, they should take that into consideration when they go up there to make their votes.
Just to follow up with that, what can you share about the proposal that you're planning on pushing forward at this time?
Well, we're calculating the new numbers and looking at a way to solidify this, until we can come up with a longer sustainable answer. But water rates did not just go up for the city of Flint from this provider. There are dozens of people in communities that they provide water for. Globally, through their portfolio, who they provide water to, all took a level of an increase. Many communities are going through this, but many communities don't have the wherewithal or the ability or the financial structure to absorb it for their end users. Many communities are just passing the level of increase on to the end users, which is their customers. We choose not to. Over the past 6 years, we have not raised the water rate at all inside the city of Flint. We're going to continue to push forward to figure out better ways to have water affordability. We do know that there's a statewide package, a water affordability package is moving through the state. We're working closely with the makers of those legislative actions to be able to do so. But definitely right now is not the time to abandon the residents of this community, which the city council did last night with their vote.
Will this new proposal also include ARPA funds?
It will include general funds, and that's what it is. It's general fund dollars that was supplied by ARPA dollars. So once that vote occurred by city council to place dollars into the general fund from ARPA funds, it became general funds from ARPA. So these are general fund dollars. And so when we talk about the level of surplus, we have a level of the way that we define surpluses. We have a healthy surplus, as Mr. Moore just told you. We can afford to absorb this for residents, but we have to have a vote by council. In 2017, the council voted to have a 30-year contract. Only one of those council people are still serving now. But the questions need to be asked to those individuals, and that individual, why would you vote for a 30-year deal when many advise not to vote for a 30-year agreement with one provider? Okay, now we're going to shift over to another important issue that was very much debated last night, that was pushed forward to Monday's meeting. The hardworking men and women of our law enforcement agencies are noble careers. They're there, they're doing great work. We negotiated the terms with the collective bargaining unit to put them in balance or in alignment with our county counterparts of law enforcement and also some statewide agencies in law enforcement. This negotiation really spoke more about than just about dollars. It talked about recruitment and retention and having qualified individuals perform this noble career. We came to an agreement, and the president and vice president of that collective bargaining unit is here along with the chief of police. There was no need to push this forward, because why not just, as we support our law enforcement agencies, those hardworking men and women that keeps us all safe at night, why not push this forward? Petty personal politics. And it's gone on too long with the city council. We said the wars, the violation of city charter, the violations of rules, not passing a budget on time last year where the state had to intervene. This is horrible. And James Baldwin had a quote, and he said, the greatest threat to society is a person that has nothing to lose. And we've seen this happen from some of these council members. This is obstruction at the highest level. But now we have an opportunity to give a great raise to those working men and women of the law enforcement ranks. And I'm going to let the chief of police, Terrence Green, talk about this agreement, and then also members of the union.
Thanks, Mayor. Last night's outcome was very disappointing to me. Not for me personally, but for the members of the Flint Police Officers Association, because I'm aware and fully aware how hard they work through the years, underpaid and overworked. During the year 2025, Genesee County 911 handled 420,860 police calls. Out of that number, the City of Flint Police Department received 120,860 of those calls. That represents 34% of all the police calls in Genesee County. The next closest agency in Genesee County recorded 42,000 calls, representing 12.2% of all calls in Genesee County. When this contract was introduced to the Flint Police Officers Association, I immediately noticed a significant increase in officers' morale, which is of utmost importance to me, because that when morale is high, we say crime is low, because these officers want to come to work, get paid, and feel they're working and getting a wage equal to how hard they are working. So last night's was very disappointing. I've seen the officers since then. They're concerned, but we're going to hope that the City Council does the right thing and passes this contract forward, because they've earned it and they deserve it. And when their morale is high, it also improves public safety. I'll hand it over to the union president here. He can say a few words.
Along with our E-Board, our executive board for the union, we were extremely pleased with the support and the communication between the chief, the mayor, and their representatives to get us a contract that was more than what we expected. And that shows their respect towards us. And what we use and what we do every day is, important to the city and the citizens and keeping their safety. We believe this contract will get passed through. We wish it would have been last night. We'll wait on that, like we wait on a lot of things. But you shouldn't have to wait as citizens to get your service. With more officers getting this contract, more people transferring over from other departments to come here because of our wages and the increased wages, we should see a higher response time. A response time that officers will be more on the road than what they were before. So we just hope that this is going to go through as planned, and we're hoping for the best, and we expect the best because we have a great leadership here, and we just want everything to be back in place the way it was, us just doing our job and trying to take care of the citizens.
Could you, say
Yeah.
and spell your full name?
John Kramer, Cramer. Yeah.
Hello. Yep. Officer Michael Forstek, Forystek, Vice President of the FPOA, the union here. As Officer Kramer said, we appreciate everything that we've been through with the city so far up to this point. It's no secret that retention's been a big problem here at the city for years, as long as I've been here, and Officer Kramer, who's been here longer than I have. But we're anticipating a 9-0 vote from council at some point because it's the right thing to do, and that's what we're hoping we see. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Chief, for everything, and we appreciate it.
So as the chief says, when morale is high, crime is low. Officer Forstick behind me, he's a legacy officer. His grandfather served as a Flint police officer. His father served as a Flint police officer. And now he serves as a Flint police officer. It's a noble career that's passed down from generation to generation. As Officer Forstick would tell you, that this is the largest pay increase in Flint City history for police officers. It passed ratification with the membership with 100%. We can afford to do well by these individuals who provide services for us here in the city of Flint. We have 6 collective bargaining units that we deal with. We witnessed a couple years ago ASME 1600, which is our largest collective bargaining unit. We were able to give them the largest raise that they've had in Flint's history as well. We made a commitment from administration that when the city of Flint is doing well and doing better, we will compensate those individuals who are working hard that's keeping us afloat. That negotiation was held by Chief of Staff, Mr. Ed Taylor, during that period of time, and we will continue to do that each and every day. But the City Council, when we have these petty politics, and that's exactly what they are, these individuals who do nothing and you see them fighting amongst one another, and the collateral damage could be you and I out here in this community. From our water rates to public safety to everyday engaged activity from the city of Flint. This should be stopped. Who can stop it are you, the residents. Make a call to your city council persons. Tell them what you see here today and the level of frustration that we feel in this office. I tell you, we're going to hold fast. We're going to continue to fight for you, the residents. That is my commitment. That is the chief's commitment. That is Chief of Staff Ed Taylor's commitment. We will continue to fight for you. That's what we're going to do. But the city council need to be held accountable for their poor actions and their excuse making. We have the best city budget in 20 years. Never before in Flint's history has 6 balanced budgets been presented. Petty politics gets in the way. We see it on a local level. We see it on the state level. We see it now nationally. But you have the power to stop it here locally. Now we can open up for questions for the second topic.
So I think a question for Chief Green, but do you know ballpark what the average police officer makes in the city right now?
I think Union President can answer that.
I mean, at the rate of we don't, I mean, say it as a salary, but we're hourly. Right now, the actually beginning first year wage after the academy is around $20 an hour. That's just a little bit under or a little bit over some places at fast food restaurants. So this increase would be a significant one to at least keep people, employed here and wanting to stay here. Yeah.
And I guess how much would that 7% increase cost the city?
That is something that I would not know. That is for finance.
Over the life of the contract, we're estimating it'll cost about $1.9 million,
What is the life of the contract?
3 years.
That includes back pay too from when the.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Any more questions on this particular subject? And just to take a note, we have increased the wages for our recruits in the academy by 50%. We did that a couple years ago to be able to get more younger officers to engage in the noble career of law enforcement. We did that for police and fire as well. We absorbed that. We can afford this. And this is what is needed to make sure our community stays strong and gets stronger. All right, with that, I thank you all for coming. If there's no more questions, if you need one-on-ones, we're available. But thank you for being here. Thank you.